Hello Indie fans, if the Steam Going Rogue Festival has you hankering to play some roguelite, Souls-like or Metroidvania titles, it just so happens that a number of these are on sale, so here are my recommendations with a slight lean towards smaller, more obscure titles that you might not know about. Let's begin with Space Gladiators, an awesome hand-drawn roguelite platformer from last year that is severely overlooked. It has you playing as a space potato, forced into gladiatorial combat to fight your way out of space prison, with an art style that matches the absurdity of the situation, evoking flash games and titles like Battle Block Theatre and The Binding of Isaac. An awesome looking retro title from 2015 is Odallus The Dark Call, coming to us from Brazilian developer Joy Masher, who do appear quite frequently on this channel since their pixel art is one of the best in the business. It is a classic Vania style title, which means that this has more in common with Simon's Quest rather than Symphony of the Night, where the developer does manage to nail the retro vibes. It is at a whopping 80% discount, so if you have not gotten this, what are you waiting for? A newer title on the list is Luck Be a Landlord, one that does have quite a primitive pixel art style, but don't be fooled, it is one of the most compelling games out there. You are essentially adding icons to the slot machine, needing to strategize and come up with a build in every run, which is very unique and different as compared to other roguelites out there, where this developer has been constantly releasing free updates, so I know that this will turn out well. A title that I enjoyed from last year is Eastern Exorcist, another challenging 2D Souls-like title, but with a fantastically done Asian theme, tapping upon Chinese mythology, which gives it a different vibe. Interestingly, there are two playable characters in this, with swords and a Chinese polearm or guan dao being the preferred weapons respectively. Your character is travelling the world to slay demons and monsters, but the designs of the enemies are very impressive in this game. We've seen quite a number of Chinese games in recent years, which is something that I love since it does show how global video games truly are, with developers from everywhere bringing their own ideas and culture into the mix. A game which I take every opportunity I can to highlight is Pharaoh Rebirth Plus from 2016, one that comes to us from Japanese developers, one of which you might recognize are the people who went on to make Touhou Lunar Nights and Record of Ludor's War, D-Let in Wonder Labyrinth. It's interesting to go back to their earlier titles, where you play as a bunny adventurer, having to explore Egyptian ruins in order to lift a curse that will kill him in 7 days. However, you don't have to worry about an explicit timer in this game, where the action and combat is a highlight, not to mention awesome pixel art as well.
One by one, life vanishes from this world.
A roguelite RPG that I really like is Iratus Lord of the Dead, one that was released out of early access in 2020 and is a take on the Darkest Dungeon style RPG combat.
All for my future kingdom.
However, you play as a necromancer raising the dead, using the limbs and organs of your enemies to craft your army, with plenty of upgrades and meta progression in between runs. It is deliciously macabre, but do note an uneven difficulty curve as the game progresses, but at 80% off, I do think it's worth a shot if you have not played this.
Death comes in loud.
One of the best games from last year is Dead Estate, an isometric pixel art action roguelite set in the monster-filled mansion, releasing around Halloween, which was very appropriate. Based on the quality of this game alone, it should be much higher on the list, but since it's relatively new, it's only at a 25% discount, so it's not that great of a deal, but I do think that it's worth it even at full price, so do pick it up if interested.
Yeah, no, I'm dry. Unless you... Okay, yeah, we're short. Unless you want to haggle? Okay, who the...
Crawling, shooting, searching, running everywhere while trouble's coming. Endless, always breathing down my neck, but I am not succumbing. Don't know where I am. To see if in this room there's no outrunning. Dangerous doesn't right. You wanna win, you better start out gunning.
Chunks.
Grab your gun, can't get away. No escape, no, not today. Dead estate.
A game that I would give a 7.5 upon 10 is Dark Devotion, a good pixel art 2D Souls-like title that does have its flaws, but as a whole can be a challenging and satisfying experience. You play as a Templar, delving into a fallen temple to test your faith, where there is brutal stamina-based combat with punishing difficulty. It is definitely not as fluid or accessible as something like Blasphemous, and things do take a while to get going, but if you get past the slow bits at the start, it can be quite the experience, and again, it's at 70% off, so it's worth a shot. Speaking of slow starts, have you heard of a little indie game named Hollow Knight? I'm being a little cheeky of course, since this is perhaps the most popular indie Metroidvania out there, so you may be asking yourself, why is this here? Well, that's because this is at 60% off, which is a historic low, coming in at a ridiculous $5.99 US or your local equivalent, which is an insane amount of value for the masterpiece that this game is. So do pick it up if you have not, and for reasons why you should play this game, check the link in the top right. I wanted to give the number 1 spot to Undermine, since in the grand scheme of things, I do think that more people should play this, but it has by no means underperformed, having sold a decent number of copies, which is well deserved. It is an action roguelite where you play as successive disposable peasants sent into the mines to gather treasure, with each run resulting in more resources to upgrade the hub area. As such, it does add in the base building aspect of something like a rogue legacy into this subgenre, which results in a very compelling gameplay loop, perfectly creating that one more run sensation, and add to that fun combat and upgrades, as well as interesting biomes, and you have a winner taking the #1 spot. For more roguelite titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.